The story begins in a small roadside diner late at night. The news on the TV reports about a serial killer called the Mangler, whose recent murders have terrified the city. Two customers at the counter talk about the killings while Anna, the middle-aged waitress, serves coffee and cleans tables. The door opens and a man named Charlie walks in. He sits at the counter and looks around quietly. Anna approaches and asks for his order. Charlie looks at her and asks her to sit with him. Anna refuses politely, saying she's working. Charlie insists that's how people get to know each other, but she walks away and takes orders from other customers. Near the back, two addicts joke with each other, calling Anna mom. One of them recognizes her from the neighborhood and says she used to babysit his sister. Anna smiles awkwardly and keeps working. When her shift ends, she takes her bag and leaves through the side door into the empty street. Charlie stands outside, leaning on his truck, smoking. He offers her a cigarette, but she refuses. He asks if she wants to grab a drink somewhere. Anna shakes her head and starts walking away. Charlie follows her slowly, saying he just wants to talk. Anna takes out a small pepper spray from her bag and warns him to stop. Charlie raises his hands, pretending to back off, but then pulls a gun and points it at her. He orders her into his truck. Terrified, Anna pleads, saying she has a little girl. Charlie pushes her inside the truck and drives off. In the truck, Charlie asks her if she could ever see herself with a guy like him. Anna nods nervously, saying yes. She's had a bad day, but would like to go out tomorrow. Charlie asks what she would wear, and Anna describes a red dress to keep him calm. Charlie listens, then stabs her in the chest. In the next instant, Charlie gasps and finds himself standing again at the diner entrance. The clock and the people inside are exactly the same as before. Anna is alive and serving coffee. Confused, Charlie walks to his seat. When Anna comes over, he asks what day it is. She looks puzzled and says she doesn't know him. Charlie realizes he's back in time. At another booth sits a quiet man named David, reading a paper. Charlie feels like he's seen him before and tries to talk to him, but David doesn't respond, as if he can't hear or see Charlie at all. Charlie watches Anna move around, unsure what's happening. When her shift ends again, she leaves the diner. Charlie follows, repeating the same words as before. Anna gives the same replies. Charlie pulls his gun again. When she begs for her life, saying she has a daughter, he says, "I know," and kills her again. The moment the blade touches her, the world resets. Charlie opens his eyes back at the diner doorway. The same noise, same people, same moment. He mutters that someone is messing with him. The other customers stare, confused. Charlie sits down again and tells Anna to lift up her shirt, trying to see if there's any mark from before. She refuses, and Sam, another diner customer, steps in to stop him. Charlie points his gun at Sam. Way forces Anna to lift her shirt. There's no wound. Sam pulls his gun and shoots Charlie, but as the bullet hits, Charlie is thrown right back to the start again. Charlie screams that Sam shot him. Everyone looks normal. Frustrated, Charlie storms outside and gets into his truck, but when he starts the engine, he's instantly back inside the diner again. He tries running down the road, but ends up reappearing inside the diner every time. Realizing there's no escape, he shoots Sam in anger, walks out, and reappears once more at the start. Trapped, he sits quietly and orders coffee. When Anna serves him, he just nods. Charlie walks to David again and says, "If you were stuck in a time loop, what would you do?" David stays silent. Charlie wanders the diner, standing in front of a girl near the restroom, blocking her path. He joins a couple at a booth and says he's there to get to know them. He flashes his gun to scare them. Then he tells the man his wife hired him to kill him, then laughs and says he's joking. He moves to sit with two nurses who are having coffee. They leave when he sits beside them. In the next loop, Charlie attacks one of the nurses in the restroom, killing her. When the loop doesn't reset, he hides her body in a cart and tries to push it outside. A worker stops him, saying it's his cart. Charlie takes him outside and shoots him, dumping the body in the trash. The other nurse comes out looking for a friend. Charlie tells her they can check outside together, but she refuses. He returns to the diner and joins Sam and Gary drinking beer. When Anna reminds them it's the last round, the surviving nurse rushes in, saying her friend Sophie is missing and pointing to Charlie as suspicious. Charlie calmly walks to the couple again and slits the woman's throat. He tells her boyfriend he's committing a sin, then kills him too. He points his gun at the nurse, stops Sam from shooting, and says killing them all wouldn't be fun. The diner's cook suddenly attacks him from behind and kills him. In the next loop, Charlie talks again to David, saying if you put a shark in a tank full of guppies, you know what happens. He stands up and starts killing everyone in the diner. Each time, someone fights back or the chef kills him, and every time he's thrown back into the same moment. The endless cycle continues, and Charlie becomes increasingly mechanical, repeating every word and action. He orders bacon and eggs, though they don't serve breakfast, telling Anna he knows there are eggs in the fridge. When she refuses, he goes to the kitchen himself. The chef tells him to leave, and Charlie attacks. The chef overpowers him easily. Charlie suspects the chef might be special, maybe part of his test. He tries to kill him in multiple loops, each time failing. Finally, he shoots him and cooks his own eggs and bacon, eats quietly, then shoots himself. The loop restarts again, but this time, Charlie sees an old man sitting in the diner. When he yells at him, the man disappears. Exhausted, Charlie trembles and almost cries. Anna calls the police. Officers arrive and drag him outside, but the moment they do, he's back at the diner again, the same moment frozen in time. Broken, Charlie sits before David and mutters that he doesn't know. For the first time, David answers, asking, "You don't know what?" He says Charlie disappoints him, that he thought Charlie was the real one, but now sees he's weak. David lists names: Charlie Sabridge, Ted Bundy, Dahmer, Ed Gein, and asks what they would do in his place or what Charlie's father would do. Charlie shouts not to talk about his father. Desperate, he asks what he's supposed to do. David tells him he'll have to see. Charlie says he's killed everyone, but David replies that they're still here. Charlie asks if killing them all clean would end the loop. David doesn't respond. Charlie stands up and starts killing everyone methodically. Sam, Gary, the nurses, the couple, one by one. At last, only Anna remains. He tells her it has to be this way, that he can't sleep and can't die, but he's figured it out. Anna pleads for her life, but he kills her again. The world resets. Charlie is back at the diner, breathing heavily. This time he doesn't move. He walks outside and sits in his truck, crying. In the next loop, Charlie sees a priest sitting at a booth. He walks over and sits beside him. The priest looks at him calmly and asks what he has learned. Charlie says he wants to go home. The priest asks why he's here. Charlie says he doesn't know, and the priest answers that he does. He's here for salvation. Charlie says he's done terrible things. The priest recites a verse and says he has the power to choose his destiny. Charlie cries and says he wants forgiveness. He wants to be free. The priest tells him to start over. The next loop begins exactly the same way. The sound of the diner bell, the news about the mangler, the smell of coffee and smoke. But this time, Charlie does not sit at his usual seat. He pauses at the entrance, looks at everyone carefully, then chooses a different table near the window. A moment later, the addicts outside try to enter the diner. Charlie stands and goes to the door before they can come in. He pulls out his gun and tells them to leave, saying the diner is closed. The two men hesitate, but Charlie's cold stare makes them back away and disappear down the street. Charlie holsters his gun and sits back down. When a young girl walks past on her phone, Charlie stops her and offers to get her a ride home. She shakes her head, says no thanks, and leaves. Charlie nods silently, then returns to his table. Inside, Anna serves him his food. She seems slightly more relaxed, even jokes that he must really like coffee since he orders it every night. Charlie smiles faintly and thanks her. He sits with Gary and Sam, offers to buy them a drink, and they all share a few jokes. For the first time, the tension inside the diner fades. Charlie moves to the nurses' table and says he just wants to thank them for what they do. The nurses exchange glances and accept the compliment, smiling politely. Charlie continues moving around the diner, greeting people calmly. The couple at the booth look uneasy when he approaches. He tells them about his father, a violent man who hurt his mother and cheated on her. Charlie says he doesn't know what happens in other people's homes, but kids always see and they remember. The couple stare at him quietly. He walks away without another word. As the night continues, David is no longer there. His booth is empty. Later, outside the diner, Charlie leans on his truck. Anna steps out and walks to her car. She stops, sees him, and asks if he has another cigarette. Charlie nods and hands her one. They stand together in silence, looking up at the sky. Anna says her daughter loves the stars. She can name all the constellations. Charlie listens quietly, not saying much. Anna seems more comfortable now. When she turns to leave, Charlie offers to walk her to her car. She agrees. At the car, Anna notices his truck and asks if it's his. Charlie says yes. Anna steps closer and kisses him gently. Charlie stands frozen for a moment, then follows as she opens the truck door. They both get inside. Charlie hesitates. He looks down at his hands, breathing heavily. Anna touches his face and kisses him again. Then, without a word, he grabs his knife and stabs her. The knife sinks into her chest. Anna gasps and collapses. Charlie stares at her body, waiting for the world to reset. But it doesn't. The scene cuts abruptly. The diner, the street, and the night vanish. The camera pulls back to reveal a sterile, white room filled with screens and technicians. On the monitors, the diner loop plays from multiple angles. Charlie is sitting in a medical chair, eyes wide open, connected to wires and sensors. A voice from a speaker calls his name, Charlie. Charlie Sabridge. Two doctors walk into the room. One of them, Dr. Harper, looks at the monitor and then at Charlie's restrained body. Another staff member says the simulation has ended. Charlie suddenly begins screaming for Anna. The doctors tell him that the woman he saw wasn't real, that her name was Amy, a staff member who had volunteered for the program. They explain that he must have seen her before entering the simulation, and his mind replaced the character's face with hers. Charlie shakes his head violently, shouting that they interfered, that they planted her inside his head. He tries to pull free from the straps. Guards rush in and hold him down. Dr. Harper tells him to calm down and reminds him he volunteered for this rehabilitation experiment. David appears, revealed to be another inmate, monitored separately. He was never a random diner customer, but another test subject used to manipulate Charlie's behavior inside the loop. When Charlie killed him, the program simply restarted his cycle. Charlie hears this through the intercom and yells that they lied to him. He says he changed, he learned, he tried to stop killing, but they kept pushing him, that the simulation recorded his choices, every act of violence, every confession, every emotion. He says Charlie proved he's still dangerous and cannot be released.